Welcome back, focused learners. I'm so glad you're joining us today because, wow, we have a truly fascinating explainer lined up for you. Okay, let's just dive right into this. We're looking at a deeply moving narrative derived straight from the Stories of Faith channel. It's a story that, well, it touches on the very edges of human endurance, medical science, and the profound power of belief. Whether you approach this from a purely scientific standpoint or a spiritual one, the source material offers an incredible look into how people process the impossible. So let's jump right in and see exactly how this incredible narrative unfolds.
So, what happens when science gives up and only faith remains? This is the profound dilemma right at the heart of today's explainer. It's a situation none of us ever want to find ourselves in, right? A place where all logic, all medicine, and all expert knowledge suddenly hit a massive brick wall. How do we react? Where do we turn when the tangible world offers literally zero solutions? Keep this question in the back of your mind as we walk through the events that happened to one very specific family.
Section 1, The Boy from Shantipur, A Peaceful Beginning. Our narrative begins in Shantipur. According to the source, this is an incredibly picturesque village nestled right in the foothills of the Himalayas. I mean, we're talking about lush, vibrant green fields, a murmuring river, and these massive, towering pine trees that make the whole place look exactly like a painting. It's an idyllic, deeply peaceful place. I want you to really picture this profound calm, because establishing this serene backdrop is crucial. It represents the absolute calm before a very sudden, very dark storm. Living in this painting of a village is the focus of our explainer, a boy named Samuel. He's 15 years old, and he's described as a cheerful, kind boy with a unique sparkle in his eyes. He absolutely loves spending his days playing by the river and wandering the mountains with his friends, and he faithfully attends church every single Sunday. He's pretty much the center of the universe for his parents, David, a hardworking farmer, and Maria, a deeply loving and devout mother. The source material paints Samuel's life as one just filled with pure joy and laughter. He is absolutely the anchor of his family's happiness. Section 2, An Incurable Illness, A Sudden Dark Storm. The pacing of this illness is terrifyingly rapid. It starts on a totally normal evening. Samuel comes home from playing football with his friends, feeling unusually fatigued. His mom assumes he's just tired from playing, you know? But by that night, his body is burning with a severe fever. Just days later, the local village doctor's herbal remedies completely fail to bring the fever down. The boy who was literally running in the mountains just days ago is now too weak to even get out of bed. His parents, absolutely terrified, spend their entire life savings and rush him to the biggest city hospital weeks later. They run test after test, trying all kinds of new medicines, but absolutely nothing works. The climax of their medical journey is just incredibly tragic. The head doctor of the city hospital calls David into his office and delivers this crushing verdict. "We have tried our best. Science has no answer now. We don't know what this disease is or how to treat it. Take him home and serve him. Perhaps only a miracle can save him." Imagine the absolute devastation there. The family is forced to return to their village, their home now filled with silence and sobs, completely stripped of all medical hope. Section 3, Faith versus Despair, Two Reactions. Inside this household, we see two starkly contrasting reactions. On one hand, we have David's completely understandable despair. As a father watching his only son slip away, his heart just fills with doubt and anger. He looks up at the sky at night, questioning God, asking how he could be so cruel to an innocent child. But on the other hand, well, we have Samuel. Despite his immense physical agony, the source notes that Samuel remains incredibly calm. He tells his weeping mother, "Jesus healed lepers and gave sight to the blind. Won't he heal me? Just pray." So we really see this stark contrast, right? A father's logical, agonizing despair against a young boy's unwavering, almost illogical belief in healing. During this incredibly tense period, Samuel wasn't alone in his faith. The village priest, Father Jacob, became a massive pillar of support. He'd visit Samuel frequently, praying with him and sharing inspiring stories from the Bible to keep the boy's spirits up. Father Jacob was actually so moved by Samuel's unshakable belief that he rallied the entire village. Every single evening, the people of Shantipur would gather at the local church to pray collectively for this innocent boy's life. Understanding one specific biblical figure is absolutely vital to grasping Samuel's mindset here, and that is Lazarus. Father Jacob shared the story of Lazarus, a biblical figure whom Jesus miraculously raised from the dead after he'd been in the tomb for 4 days. According to the source, this was Samuel's absolute favorite story. It gave him immense conviction. He would tell the priest, if Jesus could raise Lazarus, he can raise me from this bed too. His faith was anchored entirely in this historical narrative of miraculous resurrection.
Section 4. The Midnight Miracle, a Divine Encounter. It is the darkest night. Samuel's condition turns critical. His breathing grows incredibly heavy and labored. His body begins to turn cold. His mother, Maria, is weeping beside him, and David is sitting over in the corner of the room, just completely defeated. At this moment, according to the source, they had completely lost all hope of him surviving. As midnight approaches, the room falls dead silent. They are simply waiting for the end.
Then, in the silence of midnight, Samuel suddenly opens his eyes. But he isn't looking at his parents. He's looking up at the ceiling with a divine smile they had never seen before. He whispers about a beautiful light. When his panicked mother asks who's there, Samuel claims Jesus has come and is holding his hand. The source provides the exact words Samuel said he heard. "Do not fear, my child. I have heard your prayer. Your faith is great, and this faith has healed you. Arise and walk." Right after whispering this, Samuel closes his eyes and falls into a deep, deep sleep. His parents are utterly terrified, sitting up all night long, thinking this might just be his final rest. Section 5. The Power of Belief, a Miraculous Recovery. The steps to his recovery from here are just staggering. When the first rays of morning light hit the room, Maria notices Samuel is sweating, but his body is no longer burning. The fever has broken entirely. His eyes open, filled with this completely new energy. And for the first time in months, he asks for food, saying, "Mother, I am very hungry." He drinks a whole bowl of warm soup. Within a week, he is miraculously standing on his own 2 feet. And just weeks later, the boy who was literally at death's door is running through the streets of Shantipur, his face looking more radiant than ever before. So this brings us to the core takeaways presented by the Source Channel. The narrative strongly emphasizes 3 main things. First, that human science and medicine, despite their massive advancements, have limits. Second, that in the face of logic-defying despair, unwavering faith can act as a profound counterforce. And third, that when a person places complete trust in something greater than themselves, hope manages to shine its brightest even in the absolute deepest of darkness. The family's prayers and Samuel's unyielding belief became the catalyst for what the source describes as a divine miracle. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought. We've explored how a family in Shantipur navigated the unimaginable, relying on faith when all earthly answers simply vanished. Whether you view this as a literal miracle or a profound parable about human psychological resilience, the underlying question applies to all of us. When you hit a wall, when logic fails, and the night seems its absolute darkest, where do you find your hope and light? Think about that as you go through your day. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Focused learners, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.